In 2011, we at T-Mobile started promoting that there's going to be a reward trip for the top 50 employees in the nation who are going to be sent to Puerto Rico for an all-expenses paid trip for 2. And I worked very hard for this trip from June through November. In December, the statistics and the metrics were tabulated and everything was processed, and then in maybe in early January of this year, 2012, the results were announced, and I was one of the top 50 employees. And so I was awarded, and I was serenaded throughout the call center that I was going to Puerto Rico and so on and so forth. And then I had also won a trip to a banquet for the month of December. That my stats had been great in the month of December, so I went to a top performers banquet at the end of January 31st, and at that banquet, one of our vice presidents, what was his name, Jim Geving, was present to give a big pat on the back and say, "Good job, everybody, work harder, and a great job in all your efforts." And at that, I didn't know the banquet was that day, but I happened to be wearing my "We Expect Better" t-shirt that we wore yesterday, and one of the traveling HR directors mentioned, "Hey, nice shirt," in front of the VP and our general manager, and from so I know they noticed the shirt. And I don't know, on February 13th, so 2 weeks later, that same shortly thereafter, my second level manager called me in and said they wanted to discuss a particular phone call that I had, and said that on this particular phone call, after we listened to it together, that I had not displayed adequate call concern. So I wasn't sure what that was. They clarified that I didn't let the customer interrupt me enough, that I wasn't as giving, that I was a little bit too pushy in asking the customer to wrap up the conversation after 12 minutes. And so because of this performance in this one phone call, that they were putting me on a written warning. So because of the written warning, I was taken out of good standing, and I was put on a small portion of probation. I could get no bonuses for the next 30 days. So around February 24th, when we went to our very last meeting before the trip to Puerto Rico, where they hand out like the Visa gift cards so you can pay for your taxi fares and other essential parts of the trip, they said that I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to take this trip because of the written warning you were placed on February 13th. So it was a very shocking experience. It was a very revealing experience for how the organization treats the employees who work hard for 6 months. I asked, really, this one phone call is going to invalidate 6 months of hard work for the company? They said, no, it's not the one phone call that invalidates you. It's the fact that you're not in good standing, which is because of the one phone call. So, this really opened my eyes again to how employees are treated without a contract.